Hello everyone, my name is Yuri from Mouse, and we're back with another lap guide here on the Coach Dave Academy channel. And we are back for the GT series, the Sprint series, week 4 around Road America. We're in the Merc. Not a car we've seen too much of this season, but around this track it's always strong because of the long straights. And we're going over a couple secrets, like you just see in the intro here. A couple lines that might not be obvious that helped you quite a lot around this track. And we'll go over them, do a lap, and explain how we do them. So here we are, last sector, running race through as usual. And as you can see, we're in a Mercedes. For the first time this season, I think the car will be good. Because the Merc just has a lot of power, a lot of torque in this range from 2nd to 5th gear. Like here, at the last corner. It's quite an understeer car. So we have to manage the understeer throughout the lap. But if you can do that well, it's quite tricky as well. It's stable, but it's tricky to manage the understeer. It can be a really fast car. Turn 1, we look at the 3 cones. Brake it on the 3. Get the car to the inside. And we brake all the way on the left side. Try to get a good exit from here. With a big run again where the Merc will be strong. Then we brake on the right side at the 2 here. You see we run quite wide on the entry there. Just before the press, we have the brake here. Keep the car stable. Small lift. Again, careful if you understeer. Throughout here as well. We're very front limited, so you have to be very patient before you go back on power. Same thing through here. Small lift on entry, so I can go flat again after. Braking at the 3. Small lift here as well on the entry. Brake just before the white line there. And then try to get the car rotated on the brakes so we can power it out and exit. That's the lap around Road America. Flying up the hill with that power of the Merc. So here we are, start of the lap, flying up that hill with the Merc power. So, turn 1, we want to look at the 3 cones, and the Mercedes in general, it rotates well on the brakes. Once you're on power, and you haven't rotated the car on the brakes, you have a problem. So, you want to get that rotation done on the brakes, as you'll see throughout the lap. You want to brake around the 3 cones, all the way from the left. Keep a bit of that inside curb here. You don't have to completely drive over it. What's important is you use the track on the left side here. And oftentimes it will feel like you're understeering off, but this yellow and red curb actually catches the car. You can run quite a lot over the green grass on the left side here without getting the off track, as long as the right side tires are here on this concrete quick enough. In turn 2, it's always tricky to find the braking point here. You have the 2 and a 1 marker. For me, these are really tricky to see, so let's go for the cockpit cam. These are tricky to see. I can see the 2, but I want to brake later than that, and the 1 is tricky to see. So what I use is this hole here in the road. You see it goes down a tiny bit and then goes up again, and this kink kind of in the white line, that's what I use as my braking point. So we get here, and then we use that as a braking point. Keep the car to the left side, quite long, because we want to get a good exit from the corner. Clip the inside here, and again on the exit here, 2 tires, you can drive over the grass from this runner thing to this one. If the middle of the car is in the patch of dirt there, you get an off track. The big back straight. Again, why the Merc is so good around this track. And then for the braking here, I like to keep the car not quite on the right side, but maybe like a car width off the right side, and why you'll see in a minute. Because when we're braking here, we're braking straight, and instead of braking straight for the edge of the track, we're braking straight next to the track. As long as we keep 2 tires on this yellow and red curb, it's not an off track. And this side of the curb is just as grippy as this side, so we just try to open the corner here. And this is one of the corners where it's very, very important to not brake too hard on the Mercedes to get that rotation before you go off the brakes. If you don't get the rotation here before you go off the brakes, you have to wait a lot longer before going on power. So braking tiny bit earlier and being good on the brakes here definitely pays off compared to trying to brake later to the late brakers. You run all the way to the right side here. 2 tires can clip the patch of gravel. And top of the hill, you want to brake just before the top of the hill. In this weather, it's right around where the shadow is. I don't like using shadows, so I use where the top of the hill goes a bit flatter. So just here, I use it as a brake marker. And with the Merc, again, I like to keep it a bit safe. Make sure the braking is right, make sure I get the rotation done on the brakes. And then you want to run all the way to the left side here and lift before the corner. So right when you start turning, you want to lift. So that you have rotation in the car. You can clip the inside grass here a bit even. And then try to get that rotation. The car will understeer here. At least the Merc does quite a lot. You get that rotation by going off the throttle, going into the corner. And slowly back on the throttle again. Brake at the 2 marker here. There's also a white line on the road to do that. Then you try to clip the inside curb here. Clipping the inside curb will give the car a tiny bit extra more rotation. And then we got the carousel. You want to open it up all the way from the left side. And then be very, very patient. And the behavior of the car here depends on what you do with your pedals. So you want to be flat out and then slowly start going off the throttle. Bit of brake will get the car to turn more, bit of throttle will get the car to go more straight. So it's very long corners, so in the middle of the corner you want to be patient with the throttle. If you go on throttle too early, the car will understeer too wide on the exit. So we go slow, 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 and then try to aim the car for the curb here on the exit, and then once the car is aimed at the curb for the exit and you have the rotation by going not too early on the power, you have got a good exit and you can keep it flat. Then the kink in the cars like the Porsche, this kink here is very tricky on the rear. In the Merc it's very tricky on the front. So we need to lift a bit before the corner, right when we start turning in, to try to get that weight on the front and then back on the power. And you can run 2 wheels on the grass here between this runoff bit and this curb. As long as you keep the wheels straight, nothing will happen. Especially in the Merc where you're struggling with understeer more than oversteer. Get the last section of the track. Want to use the 3 as a brake marker. Make sure to not turn in too early here. Carry the speed to the exit. And all the way wide, use all of this runoff here. And again, 2 wheels on this grass here is fine, as long as the middle of the car is not hovering over the grass. Open the last corner up as much as you can. 2 wheels on the curb on the right side. Again, lift a bit right as you're turning in because we're struggling with understeer. You try to put as much weight on the front tires as you can. You can use this runoff here completely as well, that's all fine. And then for the last corner, bring the car over to the left side and look at this 2 marker on the left side, and there's also a white line. And I try to brake right in the middle of the 3 and the 2, which are these 2 white lines. And make sure that when you're braking for these, the car's already coming from the left side and not still coming from the right side here, because then you just have to make much more of a corner. You do that, you get close to this curb on the left side here, or even a bit on it. Try to set up for a good exit. And again, in the Merc, you need to make sure that the car is rotated on the brakes, and if it's rotated on the brakes, you can go on power nice and early and carry a lot of speed out of the corner. And then again, we just use that Merc power the grunt to take us up the hill here and finish the lap around Road America. Right, so there we go. Couple maybe not so obvious things. Couple things where you have to be careful with the car behavior on this track. But it's always one of the best weeks, I think, in iRacing when the GT Sprint Series goes around this track. It's a lot of fun. You can overtake. Nice qualifying, nice to drive. What more do you want? If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next week.